What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Redline Reactions. I'm Evan, and today we're going to be looking at more Jinjer. Now, I've only heard one song from Jinjer before, Pisces, and it was great, but based on what I've seen in the comments, that's not the real Jinjer. That's kind of the mainstream version that everyone reacts to. But this is the real deal. This is Perennial by Jinjer. So let's dive in. Down the rabbit hole we go. Oh, that's a nice sound. I'm sure it'll stay that way. You can't fool me, Jinjer.
This autumn feels like funeral to me. The lonely song of grief.
Or maybe you can.
And not for what has passed, but for what shall last.
Okay, I'm going to go back really quick. That sound just brought me back to a completely different genre that I still love, but listened to ever since like 1997. I'm going to go back. I want you to listen and then pause it and comment down below what you hear. Because that was awesome. Okay, so comment down below. I did not expect that from Jinjer because that's a punk beat. That's a punk music beat. That is a crack of a snare drum on the second and fourth beats, which is also known as the backbeat. And then so it's kick drum snare, kick drum snare, kick drum snare, kick drum snare. That's awesome. I love that a lot. I can't imagine it's going to stay like that. I bet within like the next second or two, Tatiana's going to open her mouth, but looking forward to that too.
Exhausted natural is so tragic and so eternal. All spectacular tears will check out yourself. Death blows are slowly crawling to the toes. Merciless is falling off our head.
I'm here with her. I'm dressed with a few petals on my breast. We shared our creates and let the landscapes do the same. I love your warmth, but yet before the Stephen cold alone. We fixed our eyes up to the sky to see a flight set us farewell.
Okay. I know it's like I'm giving you guys homework. I'll take it back. I'll see if I can find the right spot, but I don't know what that sound was. There's a band that I'm thinking of from like the early to mid 2000s. Not quite like Breaking Benjamin, but like less mainstream than Breaking Benjamin. Like combination of like Breaking Benjamin, almost Drowning Pool. I can't remember what it is, but when she kicked in with those like long rangy vocals, it brought me right back there. If you know what I'm talking about, if you can decipher these horribly vague and bizarre things I'm saying, please let me know in the comments because that's going to drive me crazy. That's a really cool sound that she's making. We're going to go into it a little bit later, but I'm going to back this up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. See, is this it?
Crawling to the toes. Merciless is falling off our head.
I'm here with her. I'm dressed with a few petals on my breast. We shared our creates and let the landscapes do the same. I love your warmth, but yet before the
So again, the transitions, that's one of the things that I'm learning to appreciate way more than I thought that I would with some of these harsh vocalists, is their ability to just kind of hop from one tone, one level of intensity, one pitch to the other with relative ease and grace. That's the thing. And listen, I get that there's, post production and editing and layering and stuff like that. That only works to a degree. If you suck at something, you're not going to be able to make it sound beautiful without making it sound obvious that you needed a computer to fix your voice. She's just nailing it. It's unbelievable. As usual. Love these little like slow periods, mostly because I know what she's going to do.
Tradition of mass destruction in the name of total reconstruction. My biggest source of confusion, the reason of decay and dissolution, unto permanent dies. We found breathless paradise. No, we're not dead. No, we're not dead. Just enjoying coma.
Okay. Whoa. All right. I mean, I knew that song that came there at the end. What was the other one though that it was recommending? That was kind of cool. So that was fucking sweet. I like that a lot. Listen, I know I've only heard two Jinjer songs, but you only need to have listened to one to have a favorite, and I've listened to two. That's my favorite so far. Nothing against Pisces. I love one. I think a big part of my affection for Pisces is the fact that there's that shock value, right? When you haven't heard them before, and it's just like this nice sort of like swinging lounge music, and then she just kicks you in the teeth. I don't think that I really cared for the chorus, or excuse me, the verses as much in Pisces. I like them in this. I like the verses, the bridges, the chorus. That was really cool. And what I found really interesting, and I heard it a little bit earlier in the song, but then it came back right at the end, is Tatiana is making this sound that the best way I can describe it is it almost sounds like part false fold growl and like part fry scream. Now, that's just a layman's way of kind of describing it. She's not doing two separate things at the same time. It's one sound, right? But there's engagement from obviously the false folds to create that sort of deep sort of baseline foundation, that guttural, right? But then there's this higher pitched kind of a fry scream, and fry screams come primarily from the true folds and the surrounding structures, as opposed to also exclusively from the false folds, right? So there's compression in certain areas. Things are being manipulated all at the same time to create this sound that not only has that darkness and like sort of underlying sense of dread with the false fold growls, but also more depth and, I don't want to say brightness, but brightness, right? Emotion. Let's go with that. And doing that at the same time, or hearing both of those things simultaneously, was really cool. And then obviously starting off with that punk beat and whatever sort of sound I heard that got me all hot and bothered in the middle there. I might just be leading you on a wild goose chase here, but I think, and this doesn't help because I can't remember the name of the band. I think there was the word metal in the band name, but there was a band who did the walkout entrance song for the WWE wrestler Edge in like 03, 04, 05, something like that. I'm going to go back after this and check and see if that's kind of what I heard. Maybe it wasn't. If it wasn't, please feel free to laugh at me. But this was great. This was really cool. This was nothing like Pisces. The only thing they had in common was harsh vocals, right? I hope, like, is this more in line? Like, if someone presented you two options, Perennial or Pisces, there we go. To define the more common sound of Jinjer, and you had to only pick one, what would you go with? Because if it's Perennial, we're gonna be going down this rabbit hole for a long time, and I cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe. All right, this channel is blowing up faster than I kind of anticipated, and it's awesome. I love interacting with you guys. I read all the comments, and I do my best to respond to as many as I can. It was a lot easier when there was like 20, 30, 40 comments. Now it's 400, 500, 600. And so even if I give you a heart on your comment, or if I just say like, thank you, know that I've read it all. It's just, my thumbs can only do so much. But please let me know what you want to see next. And we'll keep this party going. This is sweet. This is going right on about 7 of my playlists. So have a good day, guys.